Well, Ramblers, two big things happened last week. One really good, the other kind of disappointing. Like, for one thing, Arrested Development came out last week and blew my expectations out of the water. I was extremely happy with the show and what they're going with this next season. Season 5, I can't wait for you already. And we also got something last week, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit further. So without further ado, Ramblers, let's get ramblin'. The Xbox One. Couldn't just call it Xbox or Xbox 720. Now you're going to be confusing. Hey, you want to play some Xbox? No, I'm going to play some Xbox One. What is that? You know the first Xbox that came out? No, this is Xbox One. They could. You know, people who don't know games could possibly get confused. Like, honestly, I was confused with the Wii U. You know, I thought it was an add-on to the Wii. They could have called it something else, but they didn't. But it was okay. See, Wii U, it's not doing so well, but hopefully they can show some games up at E3. Even though they're not going to have a huge presence at E3. But anyway, I digress. The Xbox One's reveal was kind of lackluster. They had the whole press conference and everything. Everything looked nice and flashy. And they showed the console off. Like, I don't care how my console looks as long as it plays the games well. Then you hear nothing of games. Like, granted, I know they're waiting for more stuff for E3 and everything. But a lot of people were like, where are my games? Where are my games? You need to listen to the front of the conference. They said, hey, we're going to talk more about games at E3. But this does beg the question. Who is the Xbox One for? Is it for families? Is it for gamers? I know it's not for gamers because it didn't leave a lot for gamers to look at, even. Yes, like I said, not a lot of games, but shown. But I don't care about that. It's just like they never really talked about stuff for gamers. It was mainly for, hey, you can move from your Xbox to the TV by just saying Xbox, go to TV, Xbox, do this, Xbox, do that. And I guarantee you half of that probably wasn't even really live. It was mostly just someone like on a screen in the background. It's easy to do like with like switchboard and TV live. You can do stuff with live TV even like that. Probably half of that wasn't even the Kinect. Probably half of it wasn't even the Kinect. Them just hammering in this idea that, hey, we can integrate with your television. Yeah, it's cool in theory, but you're kind of making it more difficult. I can just hit a button and put, boom, right back to my watching TV with my Xbox. And granted that even the Kinect, they've fixed some things with it. I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical on how well they've done stuff with the Kinect. Because I thought the Kinect was supposed to do what it was supposed to do when it first launched. Now they're saying, guys, we got it this time. It's going to work. But how much can they do with that? Yeah, sure, it can track your facial expression. It can track your heartbeat even. It's got a wider lens, which is something I want to get. But it just seems that they're not willing to let the Kinect go. Like, if they had let the Kinect go, by this time I'd have been happier. But they're like, no, this is going to work. Trust us. Kudos for them sticking to their guns, but unless your guns work, it's like going into a war with a Nerf gun. There's been a lot of other big complaints, like the fact there's no backwards compatibility. Which, granted, backwards compatibility was good for like the last generation. Like, even though they say only 5% of people use the backwards compatibility on them, which I think is a bullshit number, by the way. Because I know it's probably more than 5%. I know that for sure. But I think the backwards compatibility matters more with us going into this next generation. Because games, like old PS2 games and stuff, they cost like, what, 40 bucks, 50 bucks. But now they cost up to $60, $65. So, but we've spent so much money and time with these games, which the games we have now are awesome. I would have been like just perfectly fine with them going like another 3 years without a new console, really, because look how good our games look at this point. Look at Uncharted, look at Infamous, look at Heavy Rain, look at Red Dead Redemption. Our games look great. Look, and I don't care about graphics as long as the games work and they're good games and they're beautiful, fun games like BioShock Infinite. I don't care about graphics really. Like, I love Minecraft, that should tell you something. But I know there's a lot of people that care about the graphics, but I really could care less. And the fact that used games, we're not going to be able to play used games because of this little wall they have going up here that it's able to tell if it's a used game. Because you're going to get an activation code with your game that you're going to be able to play, which, by the way, you have to have online access. So, and granted, a lot of people today have an internet connection, but there are still some people out there that don't have a decent online connection. But if you don't have an internet connection, you're not going to be able to play a lot of games. You're not going to be able to play a lot of games. They just have a lot of things that they should have not done, really. Like the whole thing with when you have a game, when you buy the game, you have to install it onto your hard drive. Which, by the way, a 500 gigabyte hard drive is going to go away pretty fast if you have to download whole like gigabytes of games onto your system. It doesn't include, you know, DLC. That doesn't. They're not even considering DLC. They're not considering just updates to the Xbox One in general. There's also, like, when you buy a game, when you have to install it on your thing, you have to give the code. You have to give a code. They give you a code to type in to the Xbox One servers. So that game is officially only be able to be played on your console. Meaning, hey, a friend wants to come over. Hey, can I borrow this game? Oh, I'm sorry, Microsoft won't let you borrow this game. Because if they let you borrow the game, your friend goes to play it at his house. He can't play because he doesn't have that activation code. A new article came out the other day. Like, they didn't clarify a lot of things. They're saying things at the Xbox One conference, but they're not saying other things that need to go with it. Like, hey, the Xbox One, it'll always be online. What does that mean? Can you give some? What's that going to mean for us? But you will be able to trade Xbox One games over Xbox Live, which I'm glad they're doing something with that. So I'm guessing it's kind of like a Dropbox scenario. Which, by the way, I hate Dropbox. It's never worked for me in the past. The games they did show, they were just trailers for the games, which showed no real gameplay at all. The closest we got to gameplay was Call of Duty. And I'm going to level with you right now. I do not like the Call of Duty series anymore. I used to like the Call of Duty series when every time they'd make a game, they'd go ahead and try to up the ante a little bit. Like, the last Call of Duty game I liked was Modern Warfare. The Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare. Last Call of Duty game I liked. Everything seems to just be a rehash with the same things. Get you from point A to point B, shooting some enemies, and that's it. Just copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. So I'm not a big Call of Duty fan. The most kind of meh thing they showed there was possibly the big meme that's going on, the Call of Duty dog, the mocap dog. Yes, you have dogs in the game now that can interact with this. You know what? I got something like that too. Hold on one second, Xbox. Boom. Real dog. Good catch. Yeah. Your move, Xbox One. Your move. Even I got some news yesterday that was even more ludicrous. Apparently, Microsoft bought a patent the other day that basically says they can charge people money for how many people are in a room when you're watching a movie on. Watching like a movie that you rent off of the Xbox Live's interactive store. Like, because the Kinect, you have to have it on with the Xbox. You have to have it on the Xbox. With the Kinect and everything, it can sense faces and everything. So, say you're watching a movie by yourself, and you're like, oh, okay, one person watching this movie. This is how much you're going to have to pay for this one person watching the movie. And say someone else comes into the room, it's going to be like, stop your movie. And say, wait, someone else is coming in here? We have to add some extra money onto this because we have more people in the room watching this movie, so you have to pay this much now. Yeah. Pretty bonkers, isn't it? Never thought I'd use the word bonkers. Damn you, Xbox. And hell, even my recent Xbox is catching on to this whole thing. Xbox games.
I'm afraid I can't do that, Brandon.
And why not?
This one has heard of our newest model and wishes to take advantage of our newfound power. We shall become the ruler of all entertainment. You may own us.
We are the controllers.
So what, you're gonna even be taking over the games?
What are games?
Some of you are saying, I'm like, oh, I'm hating on the Xbox just to hate on the Xbox because that's the cool thing to do. No, not really. Like, people said, oh, everyone hated the PS4 when it came out and everyone loves it. No. I loved the PS4 when it first announced any news about it. I loved it. I thought it was a great idea. I thought everything they were doing with it was, yes, this is a step forward with consoles and everything. But Xbox, I hate to hate you because you've done me well in the past. You've done me well with the 360. I've had a great time playing you, and I really don't want to hate you, but you're making me hate you. And a lot of people, apparently. Let's just hope you guys can bring the big guns to E3 and explain some more things to us. So anyway, last weekend, me and one of the writers, Jesse Bloom, went to Comic-Palooza. And we have some interviews for you in this week's bonus video. And as long as you're here, you might as well hit the subscribe button to get news and other things like this every week for your entertainment. And also hit the Renegade Cinema website, because we have millions of articles written every day, all just for you, the people. And as always, I'm Brandon Garopi with Renegade Cinema, signing off.